All right, everybody, welcome to another training session. So this one is going to be on the Gauss trend line. Right, the Gauss trend line. It is a combination of moving averages that help us find and locate both tops and bottoms in a trend as it is moving. This works out very nice, and we're going to show you guys how this indicator works. This was created by our own Alex Negrilla, and Alex Negrilla is the one who created this for us in the group. Thank you very much. And so first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our chart right here. We're going to go to Bitstamp. We like to use our Bitstamp chart, so we're going to load our Bitstamp chart. It's now in effect. So there we go. All right, now next thing we are going to use this, and you can use this on any timeline, right? But we're going to use this specifically on the weekly because we're going to use this to try to find our baby bull Jesus. So we're going to use this to find the dynamic tops and the dynamic bottoms of the trend. So here you have your chart. We do not need volume, so we're going to take our volume off on this one. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go up to indicators. All right, now you're going to go search, but for me, I already have it. It's called, it's Gaussian Trend Lines right here, right? It's ALXNEGRILA. So you can find it right here. There's 11 likes. So it just keeps climbing. So the members now have this. So you want to go ahead and star this. So we're going to add this to our trend line. Okay. So now what you can see is it automatically populates a bunch of moving averages, right? And these moving averages are both the top, the bottom, and I'll start to list these out, how these work. So the center line, this orange line here, all right? Now I have changed mine to different colors, right? So you get the orange. This equals your mean line or center, right? This is your center line that you have here, okay? Then as you move downward, right, this yellow and green, so the lower yellow, yellow equals, this is L1 or, this is L1 or low 1, okay? Then we got our lower green equals L2 or low 2. Okay, now we're going to work our same way. We're going to work that same way up, right? Now actually we have a low white, and this equals our L3 or bottom. All right, now we're going to just do this. I'm going to slide this down right here. I'm going to copy and paste all this. Right, because now we're going to go upper green, so we're going to go cut. Try to do this as quickly as possible, right? Paste. Trying to be sneaky here, right? Cut. Paste. All right. All right, so now you've got your upper. Upper. All right, so we're going to mark all these out. And there's your top right there. Okay, so now here's all of your colors. So you've got these all marked out. Now, how this works is the price action always wants to find the dynamic tops or the bottom, right? So PA, which equals price action, wants to find the dynamic tops and bottoms. Okay. Those are the white lines. Okay, so your dynamic tops and your dynamic bottoms are the two white lines. Okay, now the mean, right? The mean is the center. So this is the center. So everything revolves around the center. So the price action, so the PA is always in a state of flux from L3 to H3. Right from the top to the bottom, okay? Using the inner MAs as support trends, as support and resistance trends. Trends, okay? All right. So as you can see on the chart right here, right, we see a dynamic top here, right? And if you go all the way back, we're going to stretch this thing out, okay? So what you see is you can see that you have dynamic tops and bottoms. And as you go through the chart, right, and let's grab this, dynamic top, oops, let me clear that out. Dynamic top and dynamic bottom, right? So there's your bottom right there. Now every time it touches that white line, it is always looking to go back and find the inverse of the line, right? This means a cycle would be over, a dynamic price cycle would be over. Now something to note, looking for tops and bottoms. One of the things we do find is if you go to look at as this curving pattern plays out, you can go in here, you can actually find the mean line of your, or the bottom, the broke line, I would call this the broken back of the lower L3, right? This is kind of where the back is broken right here. You see this goes up and the back just gets thrown out, and then what happens is you then have done, you've basically capitulated there on this trend. So your upward trend, you were going up, 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 and at the same time, the top side was just going just polar, right? Just going mooning on you. Well, while this did, this flattening or this hump, you can see the basic baseline of the hump, right? Now, it's funny because what you're able to do is with the top line, you can actually see what the trend is. You can see where your potential top is also, right? So as you move through time, you can see that this thing has moved through time and space right here, the space of the chart, and you're able to find your next dynamic top. There's your next dynamic top. So this thing, as it's gone through, has now cut all the way back through all of these supports and resistance lines, right? And look at how well it used these on this weekly chart, right? So on the weekly chart, it hit found, right? Came down, bounced, came up, tested, came down, bounced off it, bounced. You can see how it's holding these lines perfect, bouncing off all of them, right? And then look at how it traverses this line, and it does it in like a reverse cup. So it's almost like a reverse cup and handle here, and you see this cupping action as the price keeps banging on the line, can't get through. Finally, the support line gives. Now remember, this is your L2. Your L2 line gives, and now your target, your dynamic price target, is your L3. So you're looking for your L3 target down here as a potential bottom, right? Now, hopefully this is your potential bottom. Now, the next thing you want to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to throw your trend line. See, there's our trend line. You see how the back has been broken. And if you want to know where the next top in crypto is, right, this also will give you a good relative idea. Now this had, you can see here's your curve, and then your price actually just went sky high. We'll take a look at where your top is right now, right? Your top is way up here at 60K, right? So if this is to call our next top, you're going to look for this trend line to move through space, right? It's just going to continue moving through the space here, and you're just going to have to see, all right, is this going to just kind of curve down and then curve back up like this? This is exactly what it did previously. So you can see it did the very similar thing back here. There you go. You see, there it is. It went up and down and up again. So there is a potential price action for you for crypto, right? There it is, and now it just depends how long it takes you to get back up there. But look, you could hit 40, 60,000. It is a potential using this. Now this plays out over a very long time. So you have to use this. Now the great thing about this doesn't just work to find the tops and bottoms, which it did very, very nicely here, okay? So you're able to find your tops and bottoms very, very nicely using just this chart. Now, one of the things I do want to point out that this does work on different timelines. Look, you can come down to the daily, right? Check out the daily. See how well this worked as resistance. Look at how it caught a support. Look at how it caught a support there before finally breaking out and looking for the low target. Now, one of the really bad things here is this. When you do pull up these, I mean, you get pretty damn deep, right? On the, you got to get pretty deep to find a lot of these lines here, okay? So, you got to go back to your 12-hour. There's our 12-hour. There's our 6-hour. Now, you really want to keep this on the 12, on the weekly to find the bottom of Baby Bull Jesus, right? There's the bottom of Baby Bull Jesus. You're looking for this target. And then once you find this target, the probability, fingers crossed that this is correct, will be a retrace to try to find your mean line again, right? Your mean line now is arching over, and your mean line is going to start to come down. Now, also easy is to predict the tops, right? So now you can look at this and say, where's my top line support? You can see there's your top line support right there. It's also dropping. It's drastically dropping as it arcs lower. And we're going to throw a different kind of a line on that. And there you go. So this would be our top side resistance right now. 5,800 is your top side resistance. Let's say this thing just decided to bounce out of here like crazy. We know that 58.45. Now this will progressively move down. So it could be 5,800 or whatever. This would technically be our top side target for a bounce here. Right, but you can always just weed your way down. Look at how well this thing works, right? Look at how well this thing works as support, right? Bounces off, bounces off, bounces off, right? It's trying to hold the support line here, just like it did here, right? You can see the 12-hour. This is the 12-hour. Moved across, resistance, 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 broke through for just a second, and then plummeted through. So on the 12-hour, you got 4,100 as your top. I would look for this to do something very similar. Now you've got to be aware that when you're moving parabolically like this and the trend is either in a harsh bearish environment or a harsh bullish environment where you're moving down, where you're actually getting a lot of a downturn, it turns into a channel. So basically it basically turns the entire movement into a channel, something like this, right? You see how this created this channel here, and your channel now is working in between these on this this kind of parabolic move to the bottom here, right? It turned this whole thing into a channel. Now, if you're over here and this is your channel right here, right? You're going to go like this. Right, this would kind of be your channel right there. So this would be your channel. And if you want to get, a little adventurous to think, break out on the top side, you're going to do something like this right here. And you're going to be inside of this 12-hour channel, moving parabolic on this dump right here, okay? So you can see going back, loves to stay. See, stayed pretty much in this inside that channel right there, fell out, pulled back into the channel, right? But you see this whole thing is bearish, right? Nice bearish hold, nice bearish hold, and now we're moving parabolic again to find our lower depths and trying to find the bottom here, which is our baby bull Jesus, right? And I think that's all I got. Now you can use this on almost any timelines. I haven't tried it really on anything lower. See, look at there, the 4 hour tested, 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 moving lower. You see your 4 hour support, 3,400, then 3,000, okay? And you can also get pretty good, correlation. Look, 3,500 on this right here. Got 3,500 as a bottom side. Look at that, you tested the top of that twice, perfect. And you're falling all the way down, right? So great chart, great use, great indicator. I hope this helps everybody. Now you can stack this indicator also. So one of the good things I've learned is I'm actually starting to stack my indicators. So I'm using this indicator right here, and I'm stacking it with you can stack it with your chalk and money flow. I'm sorry, with your volume, and where's that at? Visible range, there you go. And you can stack it with the TDI, and then you have yourself a pretty good setup right here, right? So you've got your moving averages. Now you've got your Bollinger Bands with your TDI. You've got your VPR down here. Now remember, we're going to go back to the weekly. Let's pull this thing back to the weekly and see where we're at. Let's pull this out. And then here you have a pretty good, right? There you go. Now you have a really great chart. You got a really good chart that you have a nice setup on, right? Now you can see, where's my lower support? There's my lower support. You can start to see your volume support. Now I will do something on the VPVR to help you set up that chart also. But this gives you good bottoms and top ranges. So this is a great charts, great charts. There you go. So there's your supports, your big buy zone supports as you're going down. And this is a great way to stack a nice chart up right here. All right, so once again, that was our Gaussian Trend Line Indicator.